Sarah and Tom's Adventure, Finding a Little Puppy. Once upon a time, in the beautiful land of the Swiss mountains, there were two siblings named Sarah and Tom. They were spending the summer holiday with their grandmother and loved to explore the forests and meadows that surrounded her house. One summer day, Sarah and Tom decided to go on a new adventure and explore the enchanted land that their grandmother had told them about. As they walked further into the forest, they came across a hidden path that led to a stunning waterfall. The water cascaded down from the top of the mountain, creating a misty spray that sparkled in the sunlight. It was a magnificent sight, and Sarah and Tom couldn't believe their eyes. As they explored the area, they saw many animals that they had never seen before in real life, only heard about in stories from their grandmother. There were foxes, rabbits, and even a family of deer drinking from a nearby stream. They were all so beautiful, and Sarah and Tom felt lucky to be able to witness them in their natural habitat. It was like a dream come true for them to see this peaceful place with their own eyes. As the sun began to set, Sarah and Tom knew it was time to walk back to their grandmother's house, otherwise, she would be worried about them. They were very hungry and tired, and their feet were starting to ache. As Sarah and Tom walked down the forest path, they heard a squeaking voice. At first, they couldn't identify where it was coming from, but after some time, they got a sense of the direction from which the voice was coming. Both followed the sound until they reached a big, deep hole in the ground. As they looked inside, they saw a little brown puppy with big, round eyes and cute fluffy tail. He was desperately trying to get out of the hole, but he was too deep for Sarah and Tom to reach him. They knew they had to help him, so they ran as fast as they could back to their grandmother's house to get a rope. The grandmother gave them a long, sturdy rope and a big basket, and they rushed back to the hole. Sarah tied the rope around the handle of the basket, and they started to lower it down into the hole. Tom held the other end of the rope, both hoping that the puppy would climb into the basket. And the smart puppy did. Hooray! The two siblings screamed instantly, "You're a very smart puppy!" They both pulled with all their might. Finally, after a few tries, they managed to lift the puppy out of the hole. The little puppy was so happy and grateful that he started wagging his tail and licking their faces. They couldn't help but smile at his cuteness. They decided to take him with them to their grandmother's house and give him a warm meal and a cozy bed to sleep in. As they walked towards the house, they wondered where the little puppy came from. Maybe he was lost, or maybe he was abandoned by his owner. Whatever the reason, they knew that he was now part of their family, and they would take care of him with all their love. And so, their new adventure in the enchanted land of the Swiss mountains ended with a new friend. Sarah and Tom were so excited that they fell asleep without even saying good night to their new fluffy friend. The next day, when the kids woke up, they were so excited to have a new family member. They had a quick breakfast and ran outside to the garden to play with the puppy. The garden was filled with colorful flowers and tall green trees. The grass was soft, and the sun was shining brightly. Sarah and Tom loved playing in the garden, especially now with their new puppy. They would chase the puppy around and watch it play with sticks and leaves. After some time, they realized that their puppy had no name. Tom suggested they name the puppy Rex because it was a cool name for strong dogs. But Sarah wanted to name the puppy Daisy because they found her in a forest close to a field of daisies. Suddenly, Tom realized with a surprised face that they didn't even know if the puppy was a boy or a girl. Sarah suggested bringing the puppy to Uncle Joseph. He would know how to find out because he knew everything about animals. So they went to visit Uncle Joseph. Uncle Joseph was a tall, friendly man with large hands and loose pants with big pockets. He welcomed the kids and the puppy with a warm smile and asked them what was on their minds. Tom asked Uncle Joseph to help them determine whether the puppy was a boy or a girl. Uncle Joseph looked at the puppy and said, "It's a very strong and healthy girl." the kids were overjoyed to know that they had a little girl puppy. Both agreed to name her Daisy and started calling her Daisy, Daisy, Daisy. Daisy started wagging her tail with excitement. She knew what that meant and liked her name very much. They played fetch and taught her new tricks. Daisy was a fast learner. After a while, Uncle Joseph came out and asked if the kids wanted to help him feed the animals on the farm. Tom and Sarah were thrilled and eagerly agreed. He showed the kids how to feed the cows and goats, and they even got to collect eggs from the chickens. The day was full of new experiences and adventures, and Daisy was there to share in all the fun. As the sun began to set, the kids and Daisy were tired and ready for a good rest. Daisy snuggled up under the table like a little kitten and quietly snored while Tom and Sarah had a warm dinner with Uncle Joseph. When it was finally dark and the kitchen was filled with the pleasant aroma of fresh bread, Tom and Sarah thanked Uncle Joseph for teaching them so much about the farm. Uncle Joseph smiled at his young guests and said, "You are always welcome here." The children were so happy to hear that. They promised to come again soon and learn more about the farm. Both hugged Uncle Joseph and left the farm, excited to tell everyone at grandmother's house about their amazing day and how Daisy became her new name. The end.